Formula One returns to Brazil, once again hosting the opening round of the 2020 Formula One season. And so it comes the first test of the season. Who has the fastest cars following the engine regulations shakedown? And looking at the pace from pre-practice, H&M look fastest in the drive. Both drivers of Hampson and Giovinazzi say progress has been made further from the cars per BMW's car last season. Alfa Romeo are looking good again. Kimi looks like he's got his mojo back after a disappointing 2019 campaign. Furukawa looks like he's, however, off the pace as he struggles to get to grip with the new car. Mercedes are looking to bounce back. This time last year they are going in to win the opening round, but it's been over a year since Bottas won that race. With Hamilton back at the team, can they improve and get at least some solid points? Well, after a wet, dry qualifying, Charles Leclerc took pole, 3/10 ahead of Lando Norris's McLaren. He starts on the front row on his debut. Pierre Gasly is third, and Lewis Hamilton is fourth. Gasly a little bit worried about the fact that behind McLaren, but nevertheless carrying on. Kevin Magnussen for his new Jaguar team is fifth, and Stoffel Van Dorn lands up sixth for Aston Martin Brabham. Both of them very happy with that, although lining up on the dry tyres. Luca Giotto starts seventh, happy for him. Kimi Raikkonen is eighth, a little disappointed that he couldn't get further up. Good. Moving down to the wet runners now, Vettel starts in ninth, and Daniel Ricciardo lines up alongside his Renault, happy with the pace he showed. Sergio Perez shows Williams have got that strong Audi engine, and Peter Hampson lines up alongside, showing H&M's good aero package continues. His teammate Antonio Giovinazzi lines up alongside. Fernando Alonso put the two H&Ms in a Williams sandwich. Carlos Sainz is very disappointed to be only 15th. Hulkenberg for Red Bull also disappointed not to have the pace in the wet. Max Verstappen, another person, and Valtteri Bottas, both of them lining up on the 9th row, a million miles away where Ferrari and Mercedes both want to be. But the last row is two debutants, Antonio Furukawa and Nick de Vries for Jaguar. Now it's time for the race of today's Brazilian Grand Prix. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video of Final Fantasy Formula 1. We're back for the 4th season. Yes, this is, for those of you who are not familiar with this series, this is my longest serving series on the channel. You can see we've been doing it since 2016. I mean, the graphics back then weren't very good on my channel, but obviously this is continuing on from the series I did earlier this year. We're on the F1 2019. It's going to be interesting. Brazil has always been an interesting race. Remember the very first race that we did around here, where Van Dorn lapping up to the field meant that my penalty got eradicated because he just lapped up I think it was Perez at the time behind me.
Okay, be wary of the cars ahead braking suddenly into one. We could ruin our race if we hit them. Good luck.
Thank you, Jeff. Now, one thing that did happen is that one of the ERP files for all the people that sit around on the grid somehow didn't save, even though I saved it. I have fixed it for episode 2, but for this episode you're going to have to get used to it, I'm afraid. One stop strategy, unfortunately, because of the wet start yesterday. And just like that, we're away. Not really much of a countdown now, apologies, but there we go. Now, also, as we get underway, you can see that the two Williams Audis, their aero is just getting very close there. We seem to be behind one. I'm not sure which one is ahead. It looks like Perez. Look at the helmets. This is going to be a lot of guessing game. Let's have a look at again into turn 1. Really got close to see the Red Bull BMW car of Hulkenberg behind us, really struggling as the Clerk streams away from Norris. You can see here that we come back at Perez here, though it isn't really enough, and we do actually get ahead of him, and Perez actually I think lost a bit front wing, so bad luck for Perez there. Although Alonso seems to be going down the inside now of I think that is Sebastian Vettel, not having a good return on his journey. As you see, there's a whole train of cars. We've got the Jaguar of Hulkenberg, Magnussen, excuse me, along with the 2 Aston Martin Brabhams, Van Dorn, Giotto there, 5th and 6th place. Raikkonen is there as well, and the 2, and we got coming up to the Renault, I think, of Daniel Ricciardo, because Gasly is further up the road. Yes, as I briefly can say, it's going to be a lot of guessing game this season, because of there are no drivers, and I've covered it up for my recording, so yes, I shall try and tell you who they are, but it's all a bit of a guess. You can see also, if you've missed the last episode, then please do go and check it out, because of course in this series I would go down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, teammate from Carimo, which I really did enjoy. And now we're back on our old teammate from last season, Kevin Magnussen. I really enjoy his K-Mag. That Jaguar hasn't really got much. Brand new Sashi, brand new team, and they haven't really got much to argue really at the back, and the only really fluke the fact that they managed to get out on time. Into lap 4 now, we are catching up to one of the Aston Martin Brabhams. It looks like probably is Luca Giotto, and I believe it's also the Alfa Romeo Kimi Raikkonen. We get very close there. Both of them, we have a better car. I'm not sure what the Maserati engine in the back of this H&M car has to offer. As you can see, that Giotto squeezes out into the path of Ricciardo. Yellow flags there, and Ricciardo I think might be out the race. Let's get a replay. So Ricciardo is literally all over our backside. The Renault is just gets swapped over, and then he gets pushed into the wall. And then this is with Magnussen. He can, and then I think, yeah, there's just not enough room now. In actual fact, Sergio Perez, well, he became another victim. Smashed into the back to our teammates. So all this lot, Verstappen in this Ferrari, they're all now quite a long way behind. I was surprised that the safety car didn't come out. I've yet to see the full safety car come out in this game. We still got Hulkenberg behind us as we come down the inside now of Luca Giotto, the man who pretty much started the majority of this off. As you can see, Fernando Alonso is streaking ahead now. Hamilton, he is already up into 3rd place. Norris is 2nd. Good job for him on his debut from McLaren. Leclerc is 3rd. Next up, Pierre Gasly. Renault gone a little bit backwards? I don't know. They were winning. They were at the front. They got 3rd place at the end of last season, but a lot of development there. Down the inside of Kimi Raikkonen, the Alfa Romeo car really hasn't got a lot to offer. Our H&M Sashi is vastly superior, and it's really just picking off this here. Next up is Lewis Hamilton, obviously man who left Ferrari before last year's Australian Grand Prix, and really, well, it's about rebuilding this year, and hopefully they can make a step forward. So we've got lots of fuel to play with, which is good because we're going to need lots of fuel. Unfortunately, Grand Prix mode is as thirsty as ever with the fuel. DRS down the inside, and the Maserati engine has powered us with DRS has powered us past Lewis Hamilton. Next up is Stoffel Van Dorn, the man who won this race in McLaren 4 years ago now. In the DRS, the Aston Martin engine is half decent, but Maserati is better. You can see there which just breeze past them. And also the fact that there's a brand new air on that car as well, that the Brabham and Aston Martin engineers have tried to put together. So I don't expect Van Dorn to stay, but move up into P4. Alonso is the next man up ahead. He's in P3, so we go very wide there. Also, hand of frustration there as Van Dorn tries to come back with us. He's experienced there. He tries to go past, but in the end he does actually give up. You can see here on Pierre Gasly, he's having and also two old foes. Yes, look, Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton battling outside the points. But for second place now, we have Alonso, who's going to breeze past the Porsche powered McLaren here of Lando Norris. You can also see Kimi Raikkonen. He is now getting ahead of Van Dorn. It looks like Gasly is trying to come through as well. I'm not sure the engine is there on that Renault. We'll have to wait and see what Renault can do. So yes, moving a couple of laps later, lap 14 now. Not a lot really was happening. We moved up to P2. Fernando Alonso leads the Grand Prix, with Sebastian Vettel up to third. Leclerc is fourth, with Giotto fifth. Leclerc is the reigning world champion, I should add, as well, hence why he has the number one number. Tyre wear is not too bad. These new tyre wear regulations are meaning that we could probably a lot of one stops throughout this season, or whether or not the FIA just decide to introduce new tyres. We come into the pits to make our one and only stop halfway through the season. I don't know, but that could be something they could introduce. As you can see here, that the helmets there are some funky thing because the minimap files doesn't work, aren't lined up. Coming out in P3, let's see if we can jump Norris. It's going to be close with Norris. No, it's not. Norris has powers through the Senna S's and is up there. We almost clapped the wall as well. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso, he's having an absolutely stonking drive in 14th in the grid. And I mean, 14 is the number he has. Leclerc is there, and then it's us and Norris. And Gasly and Vettel round at the top, 6th, although they are quite a bit of a way behind us. Moving to lap 17 now, we caught up to Lando Norris, the man who started on the front row. He should be, unfortunately, the Maserati engine is very good. They're going to go. We work down the inside up into P3, and as you can see, Norris is going to come back with us with DRS. Porsche engine isn't that bad, but Maserati and also the aero side of the McLaren is pretty poor. So following now Sebastian Vettel on his return for Red Bull, he's been chased by Kimi Raikkonen. He's caught catch-ups to the back marker of Antonio Fuoco. Hasn't really had a nice race. He got caught up in that bit of the thing, and then he hasn't really got the pace. So he's going to move past, and the Italian, unfortunately, is set as new fastest second little sector. I can't wait to race this car at Monaco. If we retain the car performance as it is, then we should be good to win a second Monaco Grand Prix on the road. Meanwhile, Valtteri Bottas, the man who won this race last year, it's not gone well this year. He is crawling to a stop, and Bottas is out of the Brazilian Grand Prix with a mechanical failure. That's unfortunate for him. And we're now coming up to the two Jaguars and, of course, Carlos Sainz. Down the outside of one of the Jaguars, I think De Vries. De Vries has caught Magnussen, but I'm not sure if these Magnussen and Sainz are doing two stops because they got caught up. De Vries and I think Fuoco were quite a bit away behind as the K-Mag, former teammate from last year. Let's go. He wants the new challenge, K-Mag. He's let him have it, and he's got a teammate there that is on the medium tyres. Goodness grief, Carlos! He just literally slowed down halfway through the corner to let us past as new fastest, and that's actually sets a new fast lap of the Grand Prix. As you see, Pierre Gasly has been forced onto another set of tyres, which is going to push him out the point. So Raikkonen and Vettel are going toe to toe here into the middle sector for the last point. Another new fast middle sector, although we were slower in the first sector, and another new fastest lap as we are turning down the thing, moving to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso is miles ahead and has gone to one. We're taking the F1 2010 line to try and catch up to Leclerc, but it's not going to be it. Leclerc, a couple more laps, I reckon we could have caught the Ferrari, which is alarm bells for Ferrari, considering the fact Maserati and Ferrari. But nevertheless, P3 from 12th on the grid is actually quite good. So yes, Alonso won the Grand Prix. Good pace for him. Actually, fact that Leclerc's at a faster lap than him, but whether or not Alonso just went into usual deck chair mode as he sometimes did. But you'll be glad to be back on the top step after so many years. Lando Norris was impressed on debut, unable to get there. Raikkonen 5th, Vettel rounds out the top 6, with Gasly and co not finishing. Outside the top 10, Nico Hülkenberg did the 2-stop. Luca Giotto finished 12th in the end, so he needs to work on it if he wants to stay. And the 2 Jaguars will be disappointed not to take advantage. Fuoco last of the with 4 retirements: Bottas, Ricciardo, Perez, and Giovinazzi. All of them went out the race. 3 of them in that instance. So moving to the Drivers' Championship, Fernando Alonso leads the way. Can he get a first World Championship since 2006? It was 14 years ago? I don't know. And the points are exactly the same because the top 6 had 6 different teams, which is nice to see. In actual fact, there were 10. The top 10 had 9 different teams. So it's not as... there could be more excitement there. Yes. That's going to be it for today's video. I know it's going to be a late one, and I apologise if you're watching this on Wednesday, but at least then you get to watch it earlier in the Wednesday, as and when you please. But if you enjoyed this episode of Final Fantasy, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, see more episodes of Final Fantasy. I will start uploading the mods for this after episode 2 has been released, because I want the liveries for the pit crew and all that to match. But yes, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day, and see you next time. Take care and goodbye.